Hey guys, Zelonius here. Welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, it's going to be a nice simple one. We're going to look at 5 mistakes people make on the menus. Now, I'm not playing the game loads at the moment. I feel like for me, I'm burnt out. It's not my full-time job anymore, but I keep up with all the content. I play other people's accounts for weekend leagues as well. Still hitting at minimum rank 3, but mostly rank 2s and occasional rank 1. Still very good at the game. I know what's going on with it. But if you ever wonder why I've got no season XP, I'm not really playing my own account too much. But there's common mistakes that I see people regularly make. And yes, there's lots of gameplay ones, and I've done a lot of that on this channel. But common mistakes that people make in the menus that I want to talk about. So, objective ones. That's number one. Not going through the right objectives. So like this, if you desperately try to get the season XP, not getting the win free rush runs quick because that loses you more XP. You need to prioritize if you really care about the season XP. It's not as big a deal with some of the rewards not being very good, but going for the ones that actually give XP. So like this, you're gonna get naturally anyway. Some are just gonna become naturally. Some you have to actually fine tune. And there's definitely more efficient ways of doing them a lot of the time. I feel like at the start of the game, there was more important options, like getting that Derby early on. Are you sick to death of getting out teamed on FC25? Want that God squad you've always been dreaming of? Check out IGGM.com today. The best and most reliable place to get coins for your ultimate team. Use the link in the description and code ZEL at checkout for a 5% discount. Check out IGGM.com today. It was more important than some of the cards now. But generally speaking, every so often there's going to be a few interesting, what do you call it? I didn't realise we had an ultimate pack. There's going to be some interesting objectives, things that come out that are worth doing. So being efficient with them, following them, and not wasting your time. Because some people do stupid objects that aren't even going to help them. Evolutions. This is one that I've done on my own account a lot. I've started evolutions, even ones that I've had to pay money for, and then I've not actually finished them. Also, just putting a player into a random evolution that's not going to do much to him, rather than wait. If an evolution's got a day left and you think it's a good one, just use it, sure. But if it's got like 4 weeks left and you're not certain you're even going to care about that player, save them, because some evolutions, when chained, are really, really powerful. Evolutions this year are so much better. Which Jamie's this? Is Jamie Vardy? Straight out of the Midlands. It's cool that they're giving Jamie Vardy basically his own evolution. Um, you get Power Shot plus Rapid plus and Poach plus plus. That's a pretty good evolution, to be honest, be able to turn someone into something decent. But yeah, like I said, evolutions this year are so much better than they were last year. There is a bit of an issue with that. I feel like they just turn every player into similar cards. Obviously, different players have some weak foot skills, but the evolution quite often make that similar. You have body types, chemistries, all that. But yeah, evolutions, whilst not perfect, they're a big improvement. Don't waste them. Don't spend money on ones you're never going to complete. Be efficient with them. Obviously, it's your game at the end of the day, your ultimate team. Build it how you want. These are just tips to be more efficient and be able to do better with it. Um, Tip number 3, tactics. Um, have multiple tactics set up, multiple ways of playing. This is my starting formation, and I play 4-2-1-3. I think it's the best formation this year. I think pros are pretty unanimous on that. It's the 4-2-1-3 or the 4-4-2. There are some other good formations, of course, but these are the ones that for me really stand out. Do I have this tactic though and I never switch if I'm losing 5-0? I'll probably quit at 5-0 to be fair, but if I'm like a goal down late on, I switch my tactic up. It might be similar formation or even this formation, but ultra, like 100 depth, aggressive, things like that. You need to be able to change your tactic up. And yes, you can do that in game. I've seen people before record games for me. I've had coaching sessions where they've recorded their footage and I'm watching them like 70 minutes in, pause the game to then put on their constant pressure tactics. That was from last year, obviously, when that was the way the tactics worked. But I'm like, what are you doing? They said, oh, I was just changing my tactic. I'm like, you do realise, right, that you can just have a tactic already set up that you just flick a couple of arrows on your directional pad and you can change it. They're like, no. A lot of people don't even realise this. Saves you a lot of time, wasting substitutions. You should be having multiple tactics set up, have your player role set up. It's really annoying that when you change your team up, even if you keep the set piece taker in, it seems to just change your set pieces up. So every time you change your team, have your player role set up so the free kick corners register straight away. Honestly, sometimes as well, if you get a free kick, if you're quick, you can instantly take it before someone's been able to set up properly. Whereas if you have to change free kick taker, people will get a bit more time to react to all that. For me, the tactics thing on the pre-menu is genuinely important and a good way to prepare yourself for matches. Number 4, SBCs. This is a huge one. SBCs are one of the biggest parts of Ultimate Team. Probably one of the biggest things that they added to the game when they brought them in. Now, of course, there's multiple approaches to how you want to use SBCs. Some people go for these gamble ones where it's a player pick or you just get one. Obviously, these tend to be a bit cheaper than guaranteed players. But for me, my general attitude is unless one of these is insanely cheap and the potential reward is really good for the cost of it, I tend to avoid these because there are really so many of these. Like, I remember one year I did all the icon ones. I did like about 20 player picks and just guaranteed icons. I didn't get a single usable card in my team. Obviously, the gamble with like an icon one could be you could get the better version of R9 and have like the best card in the game. For some people, it might feel like the only way to ever get one of these top players. And I do understand that, but EA are preying on people thinking that. For me, that is an approach, and it is a valid one. But this video is more about mistakes to avoid if you want to play efficiently. Putting your cards in up. They are cards, I guess. But putting all your upgrades, cards, anything, coins you want into a card that you're actually going to have long term. Can you see yourself using this gel cancel for at least a couple of months? If so, and he fits your team, great. Another one is don't start. I've never done this. I don't know why anyone would, but don't start doing an SBC that you're not going to complete. So this Martin as SBC, it's not as big an issue with ones that don't have as many, but I've seen people with expensive ones that have like 30 challenges type of shit, and they do like 25 and then run out of time. I know, of course, that you can't necessarily do it instant straight away. This used to be a bigger issue before we had the SBC storage this year. But for me, now we've got SBC storage, you don't really have an excuse. Plan it out. Make sure if you do an SBC, you're going to finish it. And it's an SBC that you're very confident is going to last a long time in your team. The final one, big one here, transfer. Do not constantly swap and change your team out unless you've got insane amounts of coins. Because if you do, you lose 5% of the sale. If you have a player that is 1 million coins, you will lose 50,000 coins for selling him. Unless you're very confident about flipping cards and making profit, one of the easiest, quickest ways that I see people ruin their team is by just constantly changing it, losing value, and then they go from a God squad in November to an absolute peasants team in February. Happens all the time. I've done it myself before. I hate the EA tax and the way players decrease in value, but it's just a part of the game. And there you go. Those 5 tips that if you can avoid, they're going to make you a lot better at the game. I appreciate you, well, say better at the game, better at having a good team at the game, which unfortunately is a huge part of the game. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Keep it spicy. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.